and get breaking news anytime, anywhere.
You know, no man or woman who has served in our military should feel underappreciated for their service. They should not go jobless and certainly not homeless. Middle Tennessee's best advocate for homeless veterans is Operation Stand Down, a nonprofit with a daily mission to honor our veterans. And joining me from the organization is the Deputy Executive Director, Mary Ross, along with J.C. Smith, who's the Outreach and Job Development Coordinator. Welcome to you both.
Well, welcome. Thank you for having us.
It's my pleasure to have you both here because we all know that our veterans, as I just said, are often underappreciated. We see so many of them as homeless people standing on the sides of the streets. You all have had a mission for many, many years now to honor these people. If you would, Mary, sort of break down for us the mission of Operation Stand Down and some of the services that you provide these folks.
Oh, I'd love to. Operation Stand Down is a nonprofit organization, and our only clients are honorably discharged veterans. And one of the magic things about Operation Stand Down, and one of the things I think it makes it work so well, is that we are an organization of veterans helping veterans. Almost 90% of our staff are veterans themselves, and if they're not veterans, they have a connection either through spouses or through parents of veterans. So it really is a very close-knit group, and we offer just an array of services, and in fact we don't have a limit on the services. If the veteran comes in with a need, if we can't provide it, we probably know somebody in town who can.
Right.
So we can do those referrals, but we focus primarily on housing, on employment, on just life recovery in itself. And also in making sure that they are respected, making sure that they do recognize, they are recognized for their service.
Yes, absolutely. And we're talking, JC, veterans, not just our veterans that maybe served, years ago in the war. We're talking about the veterans who are coming out today, because all of these folks are dealing with their own set of issues in some way.
I think that's the main reason why we are here, is because of that transition from military service to being a civilian again.
A lot of people don't realize that there is a transition.
Oh, it's huge.
My husband is retired Army, so yeah.
Okay. I would say you have my sympathies, but the bottom line for us is we deal with the realities of the veteran population and not the media perspective, which is heroes and popping up out of a stream with all armored up and
in a
blackface
parade,
and it's real pretty. But that transition is not pretty at all, because they're ill prepared for what they're confronted with. You're going from a place of constant awareness, acute, on call, 24/7, and then you come back home and it's about, we'll get to it when we can. These things don't happen like that anymore. There's no black and white. There's a lot of gray area. Things just aren't solid. You can't grasp them.
Yes, exactly.
And one of the when I know that for myself, when I retired from the military, one of the hardest things for me was adjusting to this pace, adjusting to not having people respond when I told them what to do, and also realizing, okay, I need to be patient, and there's another way to do this, and just because and also in the military we have training schedules that tell us everything, what to put on in the morning, what time chow is, what time training is, what time we're going to start, what time we're going to finish. We're told everything, but now that you're out of the military, you have to make those decisions yourself. And for a lot of people like myself, I went in at 18 and got out at 40.
That's a large part of your life.
That's a huge part of my life.
To relearn how we do things in the civilian world.
Exactly. And then transferring the skills that we learned in the military to civilian occupations. And it's not so much just the occupation itself that makes a veteran special, but we bring a special set of skills, those intangible skills like loyalty, leadership, decision,
very disciplined most of the time.
Very disciplined. if you get a veteran on your staff and you give them a mission, you can just kind
Let
of
'em
walk
go.
away.
Absolutely, absolutely. My
Go for
husband
it.
still, talks in military time. He'll say it's 1,500. I have to think about that. It's what?
Well, that's part of the transition is we actually have a class called Soft Skills.
Soft skills.
And it is about interpreting language differences, being able to write a resume that's understandable with somebody who's never seen the plethora of acronyms that we use in the military.
Right.
ESTs and all of these crazy things that we use. When we see a veteran put together a resume that's right out of the service, there's not a civilian on this planet could read that resume.
Really?
They would have no idea.
It's really
They would
difficult.
have no idea what they're
Well,
looking
not
at.
only that, it's 6 pages long.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And when you talk about resumes, I think so often we would think that when our guys come back from serving in the military, that there would be a job, that they should not have to search for months and months and months for a job.
Well,
and this is where you all often step in and help too.
Right. And part of the challenge is that especially with the current veterans, I will say, because they have had so many deployments, back-to-back deployments. They have not had the downtime in between deployments to actually recover and to get a new normal, because what they're coming back to is a new normal.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
they can't go back to the way they used to be. They can't be what they were before they deployed. You just can't do that. So you have to recognize and you have to adapt to that new normal. Well, they attempt to go back to the new normal. They attempt to go back into their families. For some reason, there's a disconnect. Their family is not seeing them as they're seeing the new person, but they're wanting the old person.
Right.
And especially for your spouses. I mean, you married this person. You know this. You married this person, but then they deployed and they came back, and it's not the person you married.
Right.
So that's a whole different set of dynamics that has to be considered. And I think that again, they start trying to adapt back, and they make mistakes, and they have difficulty holding jobs. They have difficulty just dealing with the intersocial skills and things of that nature, and that's when they kind of start spiraling out of control. And that's where we really want to kind of step up our game and say, okay, we are not just a homeless provider. We are a provider for any veteran.
Absolutely.
Any veteran.
And you all hold lots of special events
yeah.
that we were talking about a little bit ago that are really, really beneficial to these men and women.
And we like to be able to give them a lot of outlets to grow, whether it be spiritual or economic. We've got financial empowerment classes.
We do firemen.
Or training, I guess that would be. We have hiring fairs that are quarterly. I was just talking to Mary a little while ago about a new idea we were having about a job jam, GI Job Jam, which was a one-day affair, one company, and invited veterans to come in and see if this is the kind of operation you'd like to be a part of.
And we're also doing some really focused training. We're doing the Get a Job Now workshops, the financial empowerment workshops, and those types of things. But in preparation for these, especially like the hiring fairs that we do, is that just before the hiring fair, we have specialists from the community who come in, who are HR directors, who are part of the whole process of hiring people. They come in and they work one-on-one with the veterans and talk about their interviewing skills, how to dress for the interviews, how to respond, how to answer the difficult questions. How to do those, how to talk in a language that will get them hired, so that they can explain their skills.
The job conversion. A lot of times we run into people who may have managed multi-million-dollar operations in the service. Vehicles that cost a few $100,000 each. Many staff, and they come back home and they're not quite qualified to do even close to the same. The economic shock of that. I mean, if you converted that job to a civilian job, they probably would be making in the six figures.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot.
There are so many issues, and we've mostly talked about jobs today. We're running out of time, but there's so many issues that these veterans face that you all work with them on, and we want to make sure if folks want to know how to get in touch with you at Operation Stand Down, there's a website, of course, that they can go to, as well as more information that they can find there. Thank you both so much for being with us today. I wish we had more time, Mary and JC. I want to also thank my earlier guests for being here as well, Randall Lance and Tammy Allgood, and thank you. I'm Tawanda Coleman, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.